Thanks to the support as a channel member, Fred Hebert. Yeah, who'd have thought we had him here all along? Cancel Bayer had a fantastic second half of the season. Now officially classified as an English wonder kid. Being talked about as the next Michael Owen. Banging goals in for fun. We might even qualify for Europe. It's all... Yeah, I mean, imagine... After all that time trying to sign a wonder kid striker, if we hadn't have brought one in last summer, we'd have been playing Bayer all year, and who knows what could have happened. Crazy how things turn out. Hello, and welcome to part 118 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final two games of the season. We're at home against both Bristol City and Manchester United. Two opposite ends of the table there. Since you were last with me, we have been on a winning run. As you can see, 5 consecutive Premier League victories. We've beaten Southampton, Stoke, Newcastle, Blackburn, Leicester. We've finally got a run of games against the lesser teams, and we've been winning them. And as you can see, Bayer has been scoring for fun. And most importantly, we've got Villalobos scoring as well. We have both of our wonder kid strikers in the team at the same time, scoring goals. But Bayer gets one there, as does Villalobos. Villalobos there, Bayer 2 there, Bayer another 2 there, and 1 from Villalobos. It means the league table looks like this after that run of results. And with 2 games to go, we have a chance of sneaking into Europe. It's already been announced that the Conference League place is going to the league because of the Carabao Cup winner. So 7th place is a European qualification spot. We're 1 point behind Bournemouth, who occupy it at the moment. Only 2 points behind Chelsea, but they have a game in hand. 4 points behind Liverpool. Champions League's not an option, but we could conceivably get into the Europa League, or probably more likely the Conference League. We do have to beat Manchester United realistically to get there, though, and of course beat Bristol City before all of that. But Bristol City are already relegated. They have nothing to play for. We have everything to play for. We've got a chance to get into Europe here. And let's have a little look at Chancel Bayer. He's been playing on the right wing as part of this run. And it's not done him any harm at all. If we have a look at these 4 games that he's playing on that right-hand side, he's been scoring goals from the right wing. And there's your confirmation that he is now a wonder kid and touted as the next Michael Owen. He's got 12 goals from 22 appearances this year. That's 12 goals from 5 Premier League starts. We've got our goal scorer. He was already here. He was here all along. He's been here for years because he's 20 years old. He came through the youth team 5 years ago. It's fine. We'll be fine. So this is the team for the Bristol City game, and this is pretty much the lineup that has been on this fantastic run of results. It has meant Ali Bassick, with his injury, dropped out the side, hasn't really been able to make it back in because Kieran Hodgkinson has forced his way back into the team. And actually, as part of forcing his way back into the team, Kieran Hodgkinson has now broken Sir Harrison Davies' all-time record appearances number. Hodgkinson, now having made 420 appearances for the club, is our all-time record appearance holder. Harrison Davies has lost his record. Much sadness, especially for him to lose it whilst he's still at the club. But he hasn't really been a first-team regular for the last 3 years now. It was always going to happen because Hodgkinson is still in and around the team and getting a run of matches at the moment, and that's what's pushed him over the line. So we're going with Williams in goal. And by the way, Williams is not too far behind either. Williams will break the record. He's on 397 career appearances now. 50 of them are for Leamington and Crystal Palace when he had his spells away from the club. But within the next 2 years, he'll have gone past where Hodgkinson is now. It just depends how much longer Hodgkinson keeps going for, whether Williams breaks the record within a couple of years or if it takes him 3 or 4. I don't imagine Alex Williams is going to get replaced as our goalkeeper anytime soon. If we have a look at Tristan McDonald, just to see how he's developing, to see if he's likely to throw a spanner in the works. He's 22 years old now, down at Nottingham Forest in the Championship, having another pretty good season down there, but still only showing as a 2.5-star current ability player. And in fact, his potential has dropped down hugely as well. His potential has dropped down to 3.5 stars. Now he's getting a little bit older, which means realistically, he might not ever end up any better than Alex Williams is. So Alex Williams might, at this point, be our forever goalkeeper. We shall see. But the team is Williams in goal, a back four of Peresato, Anderson, Fazekas and Gillespie, Hodgkinson and Gregoire in midfield, Richardson, Oliveira and Bayer then behind Villalobos up front. A win here is a must if we're going to make it into the Europa League or the Conference League or whatever league we end up making it into. But we must win. We've got to win both of these games, which means you have to win the first one. That's how winning 2 games works, boys and girls. You have to win the first one if you want to win both of them. It just looks like we've got a lot of players on the pitch. We're a good team in good form at the moment. I like it very much. And all eyes on Bayer on this right-hand side. We've obviously got our new South Korean right-wing wonder kid coming in the summer who initially, that's not a good start, who initially doesn't have a work permit. But I would expect we'd be able to get him a work permit over the summer. He's still playing regularly for South Korea. So we have a winger coming in this summer who's probably going to be a better winger than Bayer is. Bayer's got the advantage at the moment of we've not really had a set right winger for a long, long time. I mean, even we had all those years where we were playing Renan out there and it was never really, I never really considered him an out and out right winger. We've had Wally out there. We've had Christian. We've had Oliveira. There's lots of players who've played out there on that right-hand side, but we've never really had, like how we've got Richardson on the left, we've never really had someone like that on the right-hand side, and we've potentially got him coming in now. So if we're going to have set wingers on both sides now, it does mean we've got to make a decision about what goes on up front. Are we going with Bayer ahead of Villalobos? Are we going for Bayer with Villalobos? Are we going to try and, I don't know, rotate them somehow? Bayer charging through here, but then the shot is a weak one. He probably should be squaring that to Villalobos for the tap in there. But Richardson with a free kick, an in-swinger. Gregoire's hit the post. I mean, little marginal differences. They can be all the difference between us getting into Europe or not. And that was too close there. It should be 1-1. We shouldn't have conceded the early goal. We should have scored one of the chances that we've had. The fact that we're losing in this game is baffling. Gillespie now with the throw, looking for Oliveira. It's actually intercepted by the Bristol City defender. It ends up with Kieran Hodgkinson, who finds Gregoire, and now Peresato. Villalobos has come deep to get things moving. Bayer's pushed beyond him, and he's hit the post now as well. That's twice we've hit the post in the first half hour of this game. I really hope it's not going to be one of those days where the luck is against us when we really, really need it. We've got an opportunity to get into Europe here, and that would be massive in the development of the club, in the availability of players we might be able to bring in. When it comes to keeping players at the club, the likes of Fazekas, Abagai, who are attracting interest from big European clubs, being able to dangle the Europa League in front of them might just be enough to keep them around for another year, because we're now reaching that dangerous point where we're not yet ready to compete. That's not good. That's offside, surely. It is offside. We're not ready to compete for Europe properly, Champions League, the title. We're not ready to compete for any of that yet. We've got a lot of very good young players who are going to keep getting better and better. But the worry now, and it's similar to the Alex Williams worry we had over the years, where we always said the club has to keep up with Alex Williams, because if we don't, he'll end up leaving before we get where we want to be. And we saw it happen. He went to Crystal Palace because he just outgrew us. The problem we've got now is we've got a couple of young stars who might outgrow us. And that's a problem, because that then sets us back massively. If we lose Fazekas this summer, for example, that's a big problem for us, because we don't have someone ready to just slot into that defence to replace him. We've got to go again with another 18-year-old and build them up slowly. And that then starts to cause real problems for pushing the club forward every year if we get into the habit of selling our best players every summer. So it is important getting into Europe. And I don't think they realise it, because 70 minutes gone now. We're still 1-0 down. What on earth is going on? We're going to put Bayer up front. We're going to, we're going to switch to the diamond. We've used the diamond a few times. These two like the diamond together. It does mean we have to sacrifice Richardson when we do it. But Richardson hasn't had the best game today. And it actually has, you know what? We could sacrifice Oliveira. We can put Richardson in there. Oliveira can be the one who comes off. So Passotti can slot in there. And then we'll also bring on Ali Basic in midfield. and we'll see if that maybe gets us a breakthrough, just shuffling the shape that we're offering from our front three, front four. Fazekas now playing it forward to Richardson, playing centrally. Lovely ball over the top for Bayer. Surely it's going to be a finish from Bayer, and it is. The change immediately leads to a goal. We move Richardson central, and he immediately, within 2 minutes, dinks the ball over the top to Bayer, who's now playing up front. Management genius right there. Look at it. That is the change we've just made working. Big brain time, boys and girls. Now we've got to keep pushing on and hope that we can grab a second, because just avoiding defeat against already relegated Bristol City wasn't the goal for today. The goal was win. We had to win both games. Villalobos is playing poorly. We're going to bring Lukinas on to play alongside Bayer for these final 10 minutes. And we need a goal. Let's go attacking. Can we demand more? Let's demand more. I mean, the change got us the equaliser, but we're so far behind our XG today. That's disappointing, because we had a real opportunity there to qualify for Europe this season, and I fear we've just blown it, because we're very, very unlikely to go and beat Manchester United. And looking at the league, is it even going to make a difference if we do? Chelsea have got 2 games in hand over us, so we're not catching them. Right, we need Bournemouth. Bournemouth have got a worse goal difference than us. So, on the last day, we're ignoring Chelsea for the purposes of this. On the last day, if Bournemouth lose at home to Newcastle, who was 17th, and we beat Manchester United, who are 3rd, we'll get into that 7th place spot, which will get us Conference League. Seems unlikely, doesn't it? Right, we are going to stick with the 4-2-3-1 for the Manchester United game then. I'm just a little bit afraid of starting with a diamond against Manchester United. I fear they could rip us apart if we do. Abagai's fit to come back into the side though, so he's back in for Anderson, who drops back down to the bench. Let's see if we can pull off the impossible. This will be ultimate backdoor Kev if we can make this happen. I am not expecting it, but we have looked like a good side for these last couple of months of the season, and you never know. I guess this was set down, even if Bournemouth win, beating Manchester United here, if we can pull that off, puts down a nice little marker for next season, we might be ready to push on to the next level and become a decent team. Villalobos has grabbed his 10th goal of the season. He actually made it to double figures. After all of that, he made it to double figures. He's got better and better as this little run has gone on, and I am quietly optimistic that he might actually be the striker we hoped he would be when he gets up and running next season after. He's still not turned 19. So as an 18-year-old, I think if he'd have come through our academy, we'd be very happy with that return from an 18-year-old, and that's what we have to remember. Compare him to Bayer, who's 2 years older than him. Bayer's only really emerged this year. So Villalobos he's doing okay. I think we maybe just pinned a little bit too much hope on him this year because we'd been so desperate for a striker for so long. But he's now had a full year where we have given him time to develop. We've not dropped him at any point. If he's been fit, he's started all season long, and it does seem to have done him good, and he is starting to weigh in with some goals. 1-0 to us. What's going on in the Bournemouth game? They're still 0-0 at home to Newcastle. It looks like Chelsea might have been pulled into this. They had 2 games in hand, but are now level on points with us with only 1 goal better on goal difference. There's still the possibility that Chelsea could be dragged into this. It would involve them losing and us putting a lot of goals past Manchester United. But Chelsea are potentially catchable here. In fact, Bournemouth have gone behind in their game. So right now, we do leapfrog above Bournemouth. If we could leapfrog Chelsea as well, we could make it straight into the Europa League rather than the Conference League. I think 6th place is Europa League. I think it's just the 1 space for Conference League in 7th. Gillespie, can he get the cross in? Because at the moment, Chelsea, I think, are drawing. So goals for us, which seems mad, we're playing Manchester United. Goals for us could push us past Chelsea. Right, corner from Richardson, doesn't get anywhere near a home shirt. He plays it back in again. Hodgkinson's got the ball in the penalty area, just keeping hold of it nicely. He's drifted out of the penalty area, which is, I was going to say, a rookie mistake for our our player with most appearances ever. Bournemouth have just scored 3 quick goals. It is Bournemouth, isn't it? Bournemouth have just scored 3 quick goals. They're 3-1 up now. And we are, at this point, relying on Chelsea losing, I think, because it seems pretty unlikely that Bournemouth are going to give away a 3-1 lead. Hodgkinson, after me criticising him for drifting out of the area and not drawing a penalty at one end, has given away a penalty at the other. And all of a sudden, we could have gone from what looked like a very strong position in the space of one highlight to being back down in 8th place again. So if we've given away a penalty here, United are going to be at 1-1. Bournemouth are now winning in their game. Oh, it's not a penalty. Oh, my word. We've been let off the hook a little bit there, I think. According to the thing at the bottom, Kieran Hodgkinson had a handful of the opposition player's shirt, but it was outside the penalty area, which it didn't look like to me. But we went over to the little telly. So I'll go with what the referee says on the little telly. I'm not going to argue about it. Right. As of right now, we are still in 7th, according to that league table, which I'm a little bit confused about. Have I seen Bournemouth right? Are they definitely ahead? No, Bournemouth are losing. I've seen Birmingham score goals and think they were Bournemouth. Bournemouth are 2-0 down. Birmingham 4-1 up. Slam Dunk's got Birmingham firing. What's going on in the Chelsea game? Chelsea are 0-0 away against Everton. So right now, we are still occupying 7th place. Bournemouth do now have a goal back, and Chelsea have now gone a goal up in their game as well. So we are now back to relying on Bournemouth not grabbing another goal, because if Bournemouth equalise, Chelsea have just gone behind. It's 2-1 to Everton now, and we've leapt up to 6th. Bournemouth have now equalised, pushing us back down to 7th. This is proper last day of the season stuff. We are going to make a couple of changes. Ali Basic's going to come on in midfield. We're going to bring on Lukinas on this left-hand side. I'm tempted to stick Passotti in as a defensive midfielder. But actually, what I'm going to do is just bring him on for Hodgkinson. That 11 could switch to the diamond if we need them to switch to the diamond. We could stick Villalobos, Lukinas, Bayer up for. Actually, we probably couldn't. We've got too many strikers as part of it. Right, what's going on in these other games? These are more important. Right, Everton beating Chelsea 3-2. Massive. We need Bournemouth to lose as well. We could still finish 6th here. It's absolute madness what's going on this last day of the season. Soccer Saturday would be insane. Manchester United have nothing to play for here. If they rob us of our first ever time in Europe just because they can, that's a little bit. I'll be a little bit heartbroken by it. I'm a little bit heartbroken by it because they don't need to do this. It's just not necessary. Everton now 3-1 up over Chelsea. Is that enough? I don't think it is. I think we need the win. Bournemouth 2-2 against Newcastle. Who's going to grab us a goal? Let's get Bayer up front. Oliveira can go out to that side. We'll go to the 4-2-4. It's not quite the diamond, but it does still get Bayer involved in the attack. And we're going to do this for these last 5 minutes as we need a goal. It's a heartbreaking way to miss out on Europe when it looked so much like it was going to happen. Fazekas playing it forward to Villalobos, who's one-on-one with the last defender. If he can get past him, which he can, Villalobos, oh, the goalkeeper makes the save. We've got the corner. That was a big, big chance for Villalobos to put us into Europe. Oliveira now with the corner. Somebody just nod this in. Nobody does. It's back out to Oliveira again, who's got another opportunity to get the cross in. Cross does come over, but it's aimed at Villalobos, though, which seems like a ridiculous idea. He's only 5'9" and just not competitive at all in the air. Parasato with a cynical foul there to stop the United attack. I'm on board with that. I don't mind that at all. But we do need to get the ball back up the other end of the pitch. We're demanding more now. We're all the way down to 10th as it stands. But Birmingham scoring all those goals have put them above us. And it was tight. It was so close at the top there. We didn't lose Europe against Man United today. We lost it against Bristol City in the last match. If we'd have just been able to hold on, if we'd have just got a victory in one of them, that would have been enough. But we have finished below Slam Dunk's Birmingham. We've actually finished lower than we have in the last couple of seasons. It doesn't tell the whole story because we were close to Europe. We were so close to Europe, but it's not to be. A 10th place finish for us. I think next year We have to be pushing on for European qualification. We're nearly there. The right 1 or 2 players in and keeping hold of the key players who maybe want to leave. I feel like we're edging closer and closer to the end times in this save. We're definitely a secure top half team, and we definitely should be pushing for Europe next season. The transfer special is going to be interesting, and we've still got all that money to spend. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.